if you have a cow and you tie the cow, you tie it on like on a leash, and you tie it to a tree, okay, and you let it graze the grass. So the cow walks around, it's gonna, it's like it finds a little greener grass, it's so happy, it just enjoys its time under the sun. And for some time, the cow, it really believes it's free. And it is free. There's no objection about it. The cow can go a little bit here, it can eat a little bit of a greener grass. So the cow almost forgets that there's a leash on it. If it thinks that it's free, and it says, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. But once you reach a certain limit, and what is that limit? It's the limit of thought. It's the limit, it's that width of the current of our thoughts. How broad that thought is, that's how far the leash becomes. Okay? So when the cow tries to go outside of that circle, it says this right away, it knows that it's bound. In the same way, we can think we're free, and we are to a certain extent. We are free to the extent of the broadness of our heart. The broadness of our thought, how big our thoughts are. Is our thought more than just, it includes more than just us, it includes the whole environment, it includes the interconnectedness of other people and thinking about others, having a very broad heart, a very broad thought. That's going to determine how far the rope of freedom is. Yes, within your thought, there's a lot of, that's the will. You can go here, you can go there. For example, you're staying in your house. This is your house. You can go here, you can go there. But your neighbor's apartment, that's going to be limited. Unless you're really good friends with the neighbor, but still, I'm limited. I can't just walk around there. It's not my apartment. I'm limited within this place. But the metaphor goes is that, but if you pray to God, if you really earnestly pray to God, now right away what happens when we pray to God is that our heart becomes bigger. When we think of Him, when we think of the great one consciousness, what happens is that our thoughts also change. Our thoughts become less egoistical and our thoughts become broader. But when we really pray to God, God can take our leash of the cow and remove it from this tree and put it into another tree. God can take, if we continue praying, He can remove us to a greener pasture. He can connect us with other cows that we like, we're going to be friends with. And if we pray Him very, very much, then God can remove the leash altogether. We don't have to have a leash anymore, but it's only possible if we pray to the one who has made us, who has made us to begin with, because that's where the leash comes from. So the leash is the thought. And another, like a similar metaphor that talks about it is that actually there is no leash. It's an imagination. There is no leash. But because we have created thoughts which put an imaginary leash on us because of the thoughts, the quality of thoughts that we have, and tied us to a tree, in order to get rid of the leash, we have to use imagination and imaginary thought to untie it from our neck as well. Do you see? Because the imagination of the leash it's so strong. We really believe in it. The delusion is extremely strong. This is why we're bound, right? So even though there is no leash, we have to use imagination to untie it from ourselves. And the untying process is having better thoughts. It's having beautiful thoughts. It's replacing the old thoughts which tie with the non-ego thoughts, which is untie. The thoughts of the tyer, who is the one who was tying, the untire, until we can think of really high thoughts so much, so strongly, then we become free and we start grazing anywhere we want. And that's really beautiful.